Good morning, everyone. Welcome to all gathered here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg or joining us online. No one could have blamed you if you stayed home and watched on TV. So I really, really appreciate you showing up on this cold but beautiful morning. Our cold weather shelter was active last night. I can't tell you how proud I am, how proud all of us should be that this church is now a cold weather shelter. And a big shout out, especially to Sabina and Jerry and Reggie and so many people who were involved in organizing it and making it happen and spending the night here last night. So thank you. My name is Susan Burnore, and I'm serving as worship leader today, while our minister, Reverend Ben Atherton-Zeman, is doing good work and probably making good trouble in India for a few weeks. Our theme today might be a little mysterious to some of you, because it's not TED Talks, and it's not Ted the talking teddy bear in the movies, and it's certainly not Ted Cruz. It's Ted Lasso from the hit TV show that ended last year. Even if you never saw or heard about the show, we think you might relate to some of its messages, some of the lessons that Ted imparted so well. His character is all about kindness and hope and forgiveness. I'm so lucky to have Michael Pohl as worship associate today. Michael and his wife, Morgan Gresham, and their 2 children have been a St. Pete family for years and have served this congregation through thick and thin. It's an honor to lead a service with Michael.
Thank you, Susan. I'm really happy to be here. And we'd like to give a special welcome to any newcomers this morning. So if you wouldn't mind giving a wave so we can see you. Any newcomers? Hey. And if you really wouldn't mind, stand, and Cynthia will bring the microphone so that you can tell us your name and where you're from or what brought you here this morning. But there's no obligation, just if you'd like to introduce yourself. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Joan Guilfoyle. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But I'm visiting my niece's house, who lives here in St. Pete, and I came to your MLK thing the other night at the African American Center, which was lovely, and I'm a member of the Unitarian Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. So thank you. It's nice to be here.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Molly Langridge. This is my friend Brett. We met on a dating site, and this is our first date.
Thank you so much, and welcome again. If you're looking for a church where members are committed to anti-racism, where it's okay to say gay, where women's rights are human rights, and where we share a faith that what we do in this world matters, I have good news for you. You may have found your new church home. We'd love to welcome you into our beloved community.
We usually take time right now in the service to greet our neighbors in the pew, but we're going to save that for the end of the service today, just to try a different way. One of our members told us about how they do greetings at her church up north, and we thought we'd give it a try. Another difference will involve these little pink boxes. Does anyone know what these are? Do these look familiar to anyone? If you watch Ted Lasso, you know that he was famous for giving shortbread biscuits or cookies to his boss every morning, and he served them in these little pink boxes. They've become iconic to fans of the show. So you'll have some of those treats later on. He used those boxes to give away sweetness, even when he was given hatred and disappointment and betrayal. Some wonderful volunteers, including Sabina and Rebecca Wilson and Earl Waters, and there were a couple of others whose names I don't have, brought recipes of this shortbread this morning. Are you here? She is, and there she is back there. Thank you so much. Is that Linda back there? Thank you so much. And they'll be helping us help ourselves to shortbread later.
Please note the announcements in your program, plus the information on our website or Facebook page. There are lots of things going on at UU St. Pete these days, and I'll just mention 3 right now. First, from our annual giving team, they will be hosting gatherings every Sunday in February from noon to 1 p.m. here in the sanctuary on the theme, Growing Our Beloved Community, Looking to the Future, which sounds wonderful. This is your chance to hear the latest news on the church and to make your annual pledge for 2024-2025. More information is in your program and available from team members during coffee hour today. Second, this Wednesday at 6 p.m., you're invited to a potluck dinner, followed by the movie Just Mercy, a legal drama starring Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx. It's the dramatic story of Brian Stevenson, who established the Equal Justice Initiative. Please see Karen Cole for more information and to sign up for the dinner. Right there. And third, today after service, there's a free produce stand in Gilmore Hall. A local senior medical center is providing free fresh fruit and veggies. Take some home.
Someone asked me before the service why we were getting this free produce, and I said, well, I don't know for sure, but I know that these medical centers do often take it to senior centers. And he was very insulted that I implied that we were a senior center. We don't know why they decided to contribute it, but we're really delighted that they did. We'll be sharing our joys, sorrows, and concerns later in the service. If you'd like to have one read aloud, please write a sentence or 2 on one of the cards in the pew and pass it forward or bring it up to Michael. Our opening words are a special chalice lighting from UU Minister Maureen Caloran, now somewhat retired in Gainesville, Florida. She was my minister in Atlanta, and she was fabulous. From Reverend Caloran. In these hard times, let us look first to a response of love. In the midst of challenge, may our chalice flame bear witness to the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. In the midst of uncertainty, may our chalice be a beacon of encouragement that our values may guide our choices. Let us look first to the response of love. Now, if everyone would please stand as you're willing and able for our chalice lighting and remain standing for our first hymn, number 6. As Cynthia Patterson lights our chalice, let's say together our covenant, which we affirm with one another in this way every week. The words are printed in your program and in the online chat. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please remain standing for our first hymn if you can. It's number 6, Just as Long as I Have Breath.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
Please be seated. So now it's time for all ages to enjoy a message from our wonderful RE teacher, Erin Powers. Since we have a lot going on up here with handbells, we ask that our children and youth please stay in their seats today.
We got a runner. Are we on? Good morning, everyone. Love the enthusiasm. All right. So today's time for all ages comes from long ago when Jesus was alive. Jesus would travel to different towns to meet people and share teachings. Jesus was different from the other teachers of his time. He didn't just preach to people. He liked to sit with them and have conversations. He encouraged people to ask questions, kind of like how we encourage people to ask questions here. And on this day, Jesus sat with a group of people, maybe like how we sometimes sit together up here. He was talking to them about how to live a good life and how to be a good person. And the people had lots of questions. Some people were feeling sad and worried and wondered what to do. Some people wondered if it was even worth it to try and do good. Some people said that they didn't go to church or pray as much as the other teachers said that they should. They asked Jesus if they were still good people. And some people said that even though they tried very hard to remember everything Jesus told them, they still forgot some parts. Jesus always responded with love and kindness. With a smile, he would say, "Friends, whether someone is good or not depends on how they feel inside their heart. Do you feel hateful or loving towards others? Do you feel angry or patient when someone hurts you? Do you offer help to others? Are you kind to all people? Those are the things that count." The people understood what Jesus was saying, but it still felt like a lot to remember every day. They asked Jesus if he could make it easier to remember. Jesus smiled at this and thought for a moment. He said, "I would say it this way. Treat others the way you would like others to treat you." "Try the rule," said Jesus. "It doesn't take long to say it, but it may take a long time to learn and follow it." The people felt happy that Jesus listened to them, and they remembered the short rule. We still remember it today after nearly. We call it our golden rule. And with that, our time for all ages is over, and we will sing our children, youth, and teachers over to our classes.
For our first reading, this poem, which was featured in the New York Times Sunday magazine a few years ago. It asks, "Is simple kindness the true holiness?" I've been thinking about the way when you walk down a crowded aisle, people pull in their legs to let you by. Or how strangers say, "Bless you," when someone sneezes, a leftover from the bubonic plague. Don't die, we are saying. And sometimes when you spill lemons from your grocery bag, someone else will help you pick them up. Mostly, we don't want to harm each other. We want to be handed our cup of coffee hot and to say thank you to the person handing it, to smile at them and for them to smile back, for the waitress to call us honey when she sets down the bowl of clam chowder, and for the driver in the red pickup truck to let us pass. We have so little of each other now, so far from tribe and fire, only these brief moments of exchange. What if they are the true dwelling of the holy, these fleeting temples we make together when we say, "Here, have my seat. Go ahead, you first. I like your hat."
Good morning. I'm Pat Fling, a member of this church. I give generously to our church for lots of reasons, but the top 5 are: 5, where else can I give a reflection on social justice during a Sunday service and include my reaction to the Barbie movie and receive positive affirmation afterwards for that part? 4, where else can I share this part of America Ferrera's monologue from Barbie? It is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like we have to always be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. You have to be thin, but not too thin, and you can never say you want to be thin. You just have to say you want to be healthy. But you also have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the time. You have to be a career woman, but also be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women because you're supposed to be part of the sisterhood. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us. And if all that is also true for a doll just representing women, then I don't even know. 3, UU in St. Pete welcomes all. This includes people like me, a cisgender white woman, and people who don't look like me. This includes LGBTQ plus people and people of all ethnic backgrounds and races. This includes people who learn differently and process the world differently than me. 2, not having a UU creed that we must believe. 1, you are my people. We share the values of caring for our earth, caring for each other, caring for those with the least of life's abundance, caring about anti-racism, caring about social justice and changing public policy to build a community that's fair for all. So of course I give generously to the UU St. Pete, and I hope you will too.
Thank you, Pat. Don't you love it that we go to a church where you can hear about Ted Lasso and Barbie in the same service? We'll now take a time for sharing things filling our hearts right now. If you're online, please type in your joy or concern into the chat box. If you've written one on a card, please bring it up to Michael. Sabina Van Alak, who does everything around here, We'll place a stone into this bowl of water for each sharing, symbolizing our community.
Our first is a joy from Susan Burnore. For the wonderful Martin Luther King Parade this week and UU St. Pete's enthusiastic participation. Reggie's truck and the float were great additions, along with the Black Lives Matter t-shirts.
It was great. This one is a concern from Sandra. She's requesting prayers for Linda, who was hit on the head by a texting driver on Monday. She's undergone multiple surgeries.
Another concern from Dick McRobert. My friend Patricia is in need of prayers after suffering a serious car accident.
This is a joy from Deb Woodburn and a sorrow. The death of a friend, Sue Rich, 84 years old and active until the end. She will be missed. The sorrow is because she'll be missed. The joy is because she knowingly died with courage and faith. Finally, a line from Ted Lasso that is, I think, appropriate for our sharing of joys and concerns. He said, "I promise you there is something worse out there than being sad, and that's being sad and alone. No one in this room is alone. No one hearing this online is alone. Whether you're talking about the science of shared atoms or just the difference an act of kindness can make, we are connected, and that connection is what we celebrate and strengthen through this weekly sharing of joys and concerns. May that be so. And as Michael places a final stone, or Sabina places a final stone for unspoken thoughts, we'll sit together in silence for a minute. Then John and James will lead us in spirit of life. Thank you so much, Bell Choir. You know, for years at other churches and even here, I didn't really appreciate the bells because I couldn't hear them. And I always wondered, you know, why do we even bother with this? You can't hear those things. And then I realized that I was the one that needed hearing aids. So now I have hearing aids, I hear them, I think they're beautiful. Thank you. So, Ted Lasso, right? Ted Lasso was a television show that started in August of 2020 and ended last spring. How many of you saw any of the show? Oh, great. The faithful are here. In fact, if you know about the show, you'll see that everyone got a sticker on their program as they came in today. If you know about the show, wear the sticker so that other people will know to ask you questions about what's going on, especially what some of the stickers mean. Even though it was on Apple TV, which most people don't have, it became quite a phenomenon, sweeping the Emmy Awards for 2 years in a row. It was filmed in England with mostly little-known English actors, and thank goodness, no laugh track. So its quirky blend of English and American humor was tricky sometimes. No traditional love story, no mystery, no legal thriller, no violence, no sex to speak of. And a goofy premise: an American college football coach gets a job coaching a professional soccer team in England for a boss who secretly wants him to lose every game. Doesn't sound like a surefire hit, does it? Yet, if you Google sermons about Ted Lasso, which of course I did, you'll see dozens, maybe hundreds of sermons and essays. They come from synagogues, from Christian seminaries, from New Age churches. There are even more articles for business leaders and entrepreneurs and life coaches, all about the Lasso way. Why does Ted Lasso resonate so much in so many areas? And why was it such a hit? For one thing, remember, it premiered when New York City was using tractor trailers as morgues in the street. And the COVID vaccine was still months away. Amidst a national panic attack, Ted Lasso made people feel hopeful and resilient. He even showed how to survive a real panic attack when he had them on the show. There are lots of Ted Lasso themes, commenting on everything from kindness to competitiveness to his mother's bathing suit. Your programs have some Ted stickers with some of those themes. There are a lot of fun quotes, like, "Boy, I love meeting people's moms. It's like reading an instruction manual on why they're nuts." Or, "I do love a locker room. It smells like potential." But I've chosen just 3 topics to share with you today. I'll call them the ABCs of the Lasso way: acceptance, belief, and curiosity. I was drawn to the word acceptance because of one of those sermons I read from Adventist Today magazine. It says that Ted, like Jesus for this Christian writer, takes acceptance to a higher level, even when everyone seems to be against it. The writer said, "But Ted has a secret weapon. His strength isn't only his relentless positivity, it's his radical empathy. Even in the face of the worst behavior, he sees the person, their needs, and their pain. In the absence of understanding, he gives those around him the benefit of the doubt, even when it seems ridiculous to do so." I think the words "in the absence of understanding" are key to grasping the power of real acceptance and the challenge. That puts our words about tolerance and diversity to the test, calling us to trust in each other's goodness and worthiness, even when we're totally clueless as to why someone acts or thinks or talks the way they do, or heaven forbid, dresses the way they do, or looks the way they do. As Michael read in that beautiful poem, Small Kindnesses, mostly we don't want to harm each other. We don't, do we? We really don't. When we do, it's usually because we're in a bad place, or we don't know any better, or we just messed up. Roy Kent would say something other than messed up, but that's usually the case. So acceptance has to include forgiveness, right? Ted said, I hope that we are judged not by our actions in our weakest moments, but rather by the strength we show if we're ever given a second chance. Real acceptance has to allow for second chances. The next word is the one that Ted is best known for, believe. I was happy to find some real insight into that word in an article by Rabbi Stephen Abraham called The Torah of Ted Lasso. Who knew? Rabbi Abraham wrote that there is benefit in wise beliefs, whether or not the belief is in a divine being or anything supernatural. It can be belief in a friend or a spouse or a community, even a sports team. Beliefs can make our lives better and in so many different ways. I'll give you a very trivial example to make the point. I've driven Toyotas for over 20 years, never had a dime's worth of trouble. When people say to me, so you're a Unitarian, what do you believe in? I say, I believe in Toyota. It's true. The benefit from having that particular belief is that it simplifies some things in my life. When I need a new car, I just go to the Toyota car dealership, see what they've got. Easy peasy. Now, I did not grow up with this belief. I did not get it from my Buick driving parents. I did not read about it in a holy book. I did not have some out-of-body experience on a showroom floor. At some point, I simply chose to have faith in Toyota. Now, is my belief valid in every case? Should everyone believe in Toyota? Of course not. It's a choice. It's a small choice with a small benefit. Belief in other things, more important things, obviously, can make our lives richer, more exciting, more grounded. Belief in a friendship makes that friendship more rewarding, more comfortable. Belief in one's church community can allow us to lean into that community, into that covenant we repeat each Sunday, trusting each other, allowing for differences, giving our best selves to one another. Even belief in a baseball team can make going to the games more fun, more exciting. Ted asked his team to believe in the power of teamwork, believing that the other guy will be where he's supposed to be when you kick the ball, believing that the game plan is solid and everyone will do their part. Faith allows each player to play with abandon, fully giving every scrap of energy and passion to the game. Does it mean the team always wins? Of course not. Beliefs aren't magic. They're just choices, and wise ones bring benefits. Rabbi Abraham says that the benefit of belief, the joy of faith, is this: not to worry about what happens if and when things go bad, but to be fully entrenched in the possibility of things going right. That's a good place to be, fully entrenched in the possibility of things going right. So, we got some insight from a Christian Adventist about acceptance, and from a Jewish rabbi about belief. But this third word, curiosity, that is the realm of Unitarian Universalists, my friends. We're the experts on that. We are nothing if not curious. Just look at some recent sermon topics at this sweet little congregation, talking about sex in great detail, stoicism, the mystery of aging, the peace of trees. There's not much that we're not curious about. In the show, Ted quotes Walt Whitman, saying, "Be curious, not judgmental." Now that phrase is attributed to Walt Whitman all over the internet, so I understand why Ted chose that. But scholars say that Walt Whitman never actually said or wrote that. Nevertheless, Ted brings up the quote, remembering that he had always been underestimated. He cleverly uses people's lack of curiosity about him and his abilities to his advantage. Remember the dart game? I was thinking about how often I make the same mistake, being judgmental instead of curious. How I judge people who have the wrong bumper sticker or the wrong t-shirt. And I automatically think that they're stupid or uninformed, instead of being curious about them. Instead of asking questions like, what makes you say that? What do you think you and I have in common? Why do you think you and I have come to different decisions? Just imagine what I might learn if I asked those questions instead of, what the hell is wrong with you? Not very helpful. Acceptance, belief, curiosity. In the show, Ted is betrayed by many of the people closest to him. His wife divorces him and takes up with their marriage counselor. His boss secretly undermines him. His assistant publicly humiliates him. In every case, Ted sees humanity at its worst, but still finds a way to accept and forgive and love. The genius of the show is that somehow we don't see him as a fool or as a victim. We see him ultimately and rightfully as a hero. A hero, not because he wins every time he doesn't. A hero not because he's always strong, he's not. A hero because he has the courage to see and embrace the humanity in everyone, to affirm and promote their inherent worth and dignity. Who knew Ted was a UU? To respond to betrayal and indecency with curiosity, not judgment, with belief, not cynicism, with acceptance, not disdain. I'll end with words said to be on the wall of Mother Teresa at her home for children in Calcutta. Though after learning about Walt Whitman never saying anything about being curious, who knows? Supposedly, it says, in part, people are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may cheat you. Be honest and sincere anyway. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough. Give your best anyway. Or as Ted Lasso would say, doing the right thing is never the wrong thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you for your kindness and curiosity. We'll collect today's offering now, if the ushers will please come forward. The passing of an offering plate is more than just a way to gather money for running the church, though that is important. It's also a timeless ritual of shared responsibility and generosity. We're so grateful for your support.
things given with love are received with our joy and gratitude. I want to mention a little bit of gratitude for Michael. I don't know if you notice what a multitasker he is. Not only is he keeping the service running smooth, not only did he play the bells, he played 4 bells. It was pretty amazing. Yay, Michael. The passing of an offering plate is such a wonderful thing, and we appreciate everything that you did. Now please stand as you're willing and able to sing hymn number 34, Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire. Please be seated. For our postlude, instead of Erin's wonderful piano, we'll hear a duet from John and James, chosen just for today, while Erin accompanies them, of course.
So many things we can't control.
So many hurts that happen every day.
So many heartaches that pierce the soul.
So much pain that won't ever go away. How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind, we can take care of each other, we can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing.
And maybe we'll find
if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring.
Nobody really wants to fight.
Nobody really wants to go to war.
If everyone wants to make things right,
then what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in our hand. We can be kind, we can take care of each we can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing.
And maybe we'll find
if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring.
And it's not enough to talk about it.
Not enough to sing a song.
We must walk the walk about it. You and I, do or die.
We've got to try to get along. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing.
And maybe we'll find
if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring.
And maybe we'll find
true peace of mind if we always remember we can be kind.
Oh, my heart. Thank you, Johnny James, for the perfect song for today. And thank you all for being here on this chilly Sunday. Remember that we're doing our greeting a little differently this week. After releasing the chalice flame, we'll turn then and greet your neighbors and say hello. Remember to be careful, get permission before you give someone a hug or even shake hands. It's flu season, you know. But maybe our conversations will extend to coffee hour. So take that time after we do the extinguishing of the flame, and also be sure to look for the little pink boxes. Some of our cooks will be handing out the shortbread. So please stand as you're willing and able as Michael extinguishes the flame, and say together the words for releasing this chalice flame. They're in your program and in the online chat. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we enact carry and out into the world. Our service is ending. Please take a few moments to greet the people around you, and we'll see you at coffee hour. Have a wonderful week.